Okay, I'm wondering how people are feeling. Hey. I was not going to do a live stream, but I was driving this evening and I was like, oh, I just felt so strongly to talk about like the risks that we take for our heart and putting our heart's desires into action. And then I log onto Facebook and see Regan Hillier's post. Alignment can be a big mess of blood, sweat and tears, and it couldn't be like further from the truth. And it was just like exactly kind of what I was, you know, kind of getting the message of, you know, when I was driving home, of like, you know, like live your life purpose, and as she says, you know, be in alignment and all this sort of thing. And it's like, it's not fucking easy all the time, you know, like, and, you know, I had someone else say to me the other day in a private message, you know, like, why are you always so happy and upbeat and whatever? And I'm like, fucking am I? Like, I don't see myself as that. And then I was like, well, actually, you know, like, to get on live stream, you know, and to be a leader in any sort of field is to kind of do that. Hey Matt, it's evening here, but good morning to you. It's 8:10 at night. I'm having my evening wine tonight. Yeah, it's just like, you know, like, yes, we, you know, can choose ease and flow and all that sort of thing. But, you know, like, I mean, check out Regan's post that I just shared, because I was just like, this is exactly what I was getting the message driving home, you know, like, and when, you know, someone private messaged me and said that, you know, like, why are you always so happy and look so good and everything? And I'm like, fuck, I feel like shit some days, and I am, you know, like, even today I was crying again, you know, and like, just, you know, it's like, you know, it's about, you know, embracing the whole thing, you know, and like, do you take it is wine time. For sure. I just need to check here, like this Regan's post that I shared, you can check it on my feed. Like, you know, it's like she says on there, you know, like, live a life that's in alignment, choose alignment and be in true bliss, and you'll be so much happier if you live in alignment. Like, it's a fucking crock of shit. And I actually went to the movies today and saw a movie, and, you know, and Craig said to me, it was like, you know, like, the people that, you know, make it are the ones that, you know, take a big risk. And I was like, hell fucking yeah. I was like, that's so true. You know, the movie was all about that. And, you know, it's just like, you know, do you actually risk your heart? You know, like, what is it that you're putting off because you're scared of whatever outcome, you know? Like, if you know something's right in your heart that you have to do, you know, like, why are you kind of holding back? And when she said there, like Regan says on her post, you know, how I feel like we're missing some of the good, hard, honest conversations about what alignment really takes. And it's kind of like, yeah, we can choose that, and we can choose your soul mission and, you know, like the purpose, the life purpose stuff, which is what I'm all about. But I guess I'm kind of coming on and just saying, you know, like, it's not all happy bliss all the fucking time. Like, and that's life, you know, as well. You know, there's ups and downs, there's cycles, there's, you know, all of that shit. But it's, you know, if we're really looking at, you know, do you risk your heart? It's like, do you really trust your heart to, you know, be guiding you in every moment and taking those risks where you feel your heart is called? Yeah, it's like, I mean, even the guy on the movie today was, you know, I didn't really think about things, I just said yes. And it's kind of like, you know, like, it is the risk takers that, you know, are usually the most successful, you know, like, yeah, you might think about things, but there's other things that you don't. It's kind of like, say yes and then figure out the how later. That's the ones that, you know, keep moving forward on their life purpose. And it isn't, you know, it's not pretty all the time. What was the movie? Made in America, I think. I think, is that what it was called? Made in America, or American Made, or something like that. It was about, you know, the drug trafficking and stuff through, you know, America and all that. Obviously with those risks, and eventually you're going to get caught up, but, you know, whether you're risking, you know, your heart for your life purpose, or obviously any risk that's illegal is bound to get caught eventually. But, you know, the kind of, you know, purpose of, you know, being able to take a risk and, you know, allow that to, you know, it's like, it's stepping into the unknown. And there's a lot of trust in that. Yeah, there's a lot of trust in being able to step into the unknown and take that risk, because there's a lot of times that we don't know why we, you know, do things. Getting hot. Well, for me personally, okay, I'm talking for me, right? There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of times that I don't know why I'm getting the message to do something, and it's just an intuitive, like, I'll just fucking do it, and then I'll be like, oh, that's why I did that, you know? It's like, even though I'm sometimes like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I feel in my heart that I need to do it, and then it's like, oh, fucking that, okay, right. Of course, you know, like, oh, wow, I'm glad that I trusted that, right? Even though you don't know. And that's the big thing about, you know, do you risk your heart and, you know, take those leaps and bounds and take those opportunities, even if you don't know how. I'm wondering how everyone's feeling too, because it feels like it's been like, it's still been up and down since the eclipse, and I was really getting the message too. If you're resonating with anything I'm saying, kind of, you know, go and check Regan's post too, that I just shared, because it's just so, you know, it's so about that, and it, you know, and it's I don't know whether you call it alignment or just being a leader, or, you know, it's like, you know, you do feel different to a lot of people, and you do, you know, have that kind of different space of trusting and people not understanding why you're making some choices, but trusting your fucking self anyway, because only you know your vision, only you know your heart, only you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing and why you're doing it. So okay, and the message I'm getting is well to talk about the things that pull us off our path and the things that pull us away from what we know in our heart to do. It's like, you know, like the distractions, or, you know, and the sabotage. Sabotage has been coming up a fair bit in the past few days. I've been hearing it from a lot of people. You know, when you're on path or you're about to break through to something, or the next level, you know, all these kind of things will come off to, you know, distract you basically, from doing what you're here to do and breaking through to that next level. So it's about kind of recognizing what distractions are your sabotage, recognizing for what they are, and then choosing to just go, nah, not fucking doing that, and just keep your focus. At the moment it feels really strong, and I'm wondering if there's any other people that are kind of feeling that at the moment, of, you know, like it's kind of like time to get on with it, time to get shit done, but then it's like distractions or, you know, other things. We are in Mercury retrograde at the moment too, so there's a lot of, you know, old stuff coming up and, you know, shifting and changing. So I'm wondering if anyone's got any questions for me tonight, because I really needed to talk about that heart and, you know, like the risks that you take, you know, like, are you willing to take those risks and trust, even though, you know, like we don't know where they lead. And that's the thing, you know, with that, being in that space, you know, like there's highs and lows, and there's sometimes, you know, like as Regan said, like go and check out that post for sure, is very much that, you know, just sometimes it's just sitting there and crying because you don't know what else to do, or, you know, it's just like, it's just how it is in that moment. And that's such a heart thing, you know. And as a, you know, creative entrepreneur, as a leader, as a healer, as a intuitive, you know, person, there's so much stuff about the heart that, you know, when we can just honor and trust that, it kind of expands and grows, and that muscle gets stronger and grows and grows. And, you know, when we lead a life like that, yeah, it's not, you know, easy all the time, you know, and it is making hard choices, and trusting yourself over anyone else, because the difference between a strong and, I guess, whatever you term successful leader, are the ones who are not influenced by the people around them or by society's views, and still do what they're called to do anyway. That would be very much stepping onto life purpose and trusting yourself no matter what, and no matter which path that leads you down, yeah? Because ultimately, you know, you talk about distractions and sabotage, but ultimately there's no kind of wrong path, yeah? You're always on the right path, even if it doesn't feel like it at times, because it can be so hard, you know, like, yeah, there's alignment and bliss and flowing, you know, like flowing energy, but sometimes, you know, when you know that you've got to do something, and I shared this in, pretty sure I shared this in Calling in Soulmate course the other day, actually. It's, you know, like, it's, or maybe it was on the live stream, I don't remember, public live stream. I shared it somewhere. It's like that whole thing of, you know, going to that door, and if that's not the right door, well then do you just walk away and give up? or when you know it's in your heart, you know, of what you've got to do and create and be, or whatever risk you've got to take for your heart. If you get one blocked door, are you going to let that stop you? You know, like if it's not meant to be, you know, it won't kind of happen anyway. But, you know, when it's in your heart, it's kind of like, do you go to that door and that door and that door until you find an open door? Or you just go, oh, sorry, it's not going to work, and just forget about it, right? But ultimately, when it's your life purpose and when it's what you're here to do, you can't forget about it. There's no forgetting about it. Yeah, it's not an option. It's just, it's always there. So yeah, just gonna wait and see if anybody's got any questions. I think there's only one person here this second. There was a few people on and off just before. And that's the thing there. Matthew Knott, I just refresh my screen to check for any messages. Matthew Knott says, some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. And it's so like that, you know, darkness in the cocoon and the butterfly, you know, the caterpillars in the cocoon, and it's kind of like, you know, it's all this darkness, but it's like in that darkness is the transformation. In the darkness there's, you know, all the unconscious stuff being stirred up so that you can, you know, truly kind of move into the butterfly. Yeah, so I just pulled some cards about that. Oh yeah, from the Liquid Crystal deck. So 2 have come out. Amber, which is laughter, which is very sacral chakra, which is very in the, you know, the belly, the contentment, contentness, content feeling. We've got Silver, the lunar path. So that's kind of, you know, like really about what's being reflected to you. Yeah, so whatever you, I've been getting that message so strongly too, you know, like whatever you're bringing to the table is what you're going to get back. So whatever you're putting on the table is what you're going to get back. You've got the amber, the laughter, and the silver is the lunar path. Under here, okay, so I just felt to check the underlying card is how light a spiritual beginning. It feels like coming out of this eclipse, and that's what I wanted to say too, is what I thought. I'm like, you know, like the new moon was last week on the eclipse, and it felt so heavy for so many people and so dark, and myself included. Lots of tears and lots of going, what the fuck, like there's so much of that. And then there's the highs as well. But it feels like, you know, since this eclipse, it's kind of like, and obviously we're moving from new moon to full moon, but there's still that, you know, taking some time to build up and get there. Yeah. So with that spiritual beginning, the Howlite, it's that it is the new beginning. It's the start. And, you know, like we're starting a new week tomorrow, or well, here in Australia we are, I guess for around the world too, it's getting more and more to come into new week, new space. And I'm going to be releasing something later on as well to help you just kind of reset, yeah, reset your internal compass, be able to clear chakras and, you know, kind of basically reset and recalibrate after that eclipse. And we're still in Mercury retrograde, but we're kind of shifting out of that soon. Things are starting to move and flow and shift and go along, yeah? So, there's only 4 days left as well to get your half price tarot reading. I'll post a link in the comments for that. So there's only 4 days left in August for the half price psychic tarot reading. And that's the audio recording. That's where I use lots of cards. You know, like you don't need a question as such. If you've got a specific question, great. If you don't have a question, great. Because I tune in and pick up stuff anyway. So, if you've got something pressing like life purpose or money or relationship or career or house situation, family dynamics, something's going on, just like, you know, happy to kind of tune into a specific thing, but you don't need that as such. So I'll post a link in the comments for that half price psychic tarot reading that I can do for you. Plus, calling in your soulmate doors are open, so we start that on the 21st of September. So I'll post a link in the comments for that as well. Because that is very sacral, and this kind of content belly laughter from the amber and the silver reflection, it's kind of like, you know, what's filling you up, what's nourishing you, you know, and what what is that reflecting, you know, in your reality? Where is, you know, your focus, your time, your energy, and allowing that to fill your soul, which is very much what I spoke about yesterday on live stream too. You know, like, what is it that's feeding your soul, and are you doing that? Yeah, because that's your number one key thing to getting on purpose. So I'll post a link in the comments for the Calling in Your Soulmate. The early bird is open. Half Price Tarot reading is only 4 days to get yours in before that closes as well. So I'll post those links in the comments. If you've got any questions or you've got some big shit going on, can personal message me and say, what the fuck's happening? Otherwise, I shall see you very soon. Remember, keep it really real. Lots of love. Namaste.